Hi, I'm Nichelle Botko-Woods. I work in the Student Life Department, and this is the introduction to our Habits Change workshop. The first thing we're going to have you do as part of this workshop is take the 4 Tendencies assessment. It's created by Gretchen Rubin, and it's available online through her website. I do want to warn you, it's easier to take it online. It's easier to take it online because you don't have to grade the quiz yourself. It can be a little hard to grade. However, you do have to enter your email in order to receive your results. I want to make sure that you have whichever option suits you the best. So go ahead, take the assessment however you would like to. Online will give you a little bit more information about your particular tendency, but we're going to go over all 4 tendencies anyway. At this point in the video, I think you kind of have a choice. So if you're somebody who's really worried about having your results swayed by knowing a little bit more about the topic, I would say stop, pause this video, come back to it after you finish the assessment. But I just have a few more seconds here to share a little bit of an introduction with you. So I want to give you some real basics. And if you think that you can still answer about your own habit change process with just a little more knowledge, I think you can go ahead and finish this video. Really, it's up to you, however you want to work it. So the assessment that you're about to take or did take is all about how you relate to expectations, both those that are called inner expectations and outer expectations. An inner expectation is something that you want for yourself, something that you've decided you want to do, and that only you are accountable to do. An outer expectation is something that is something that's expected of you by someone other than yourself. So an inner expectation could be, I'd really like to read more. So I'm going to buy different books and develop habits that will help me to read more. An outer expectation around reading could be, I've joined a book club and the book club has assigned this book and told us the deadline and we're going to get together and talk about it. If I don't read this book, I'm going to be letting down the people around me. And that in particular, that's an outer expectation. Results are based off of how you relate to inner and outer expectations. And we're going to get into what that means. But no matter what result you get, you know yourself best. You've been with yourself the longest. So take what parts of this information works for you and leave whatever doesn't. We're going to talk about strategies and we're going to talk about best practices, but I want you to pay attention to the best practices for each strategy because you might not fit the quiz perfectly. And that's perfectly okay. The last thing I want to talk about in this introduction is just what is a habit. So Gretchen Rubin, the maker of the quiz and the framework, defines habits as a behavior that reoccurs and happens without much awareness or conscious intent acquired through frequent repetition. So once again, a habit is any behavior that you do over and over again. It happens all the time. You don't think about it. It takes the decision out of it. So if you brush your teeth every morning, you're probably not waking up every morning and thinking, oh, I have to brush my teeth. Do I want to brush them or not? You probably just wake up because it's a habit, because it's a routine, because you've been doing it so often every day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, and you don't even consider it. That's what a habit is. Habits are the thing that make change possible, because when you are trying to make change, you can get things like decision fatigue and you have to use so much more self-control. Once you've created a habit, once it is a pattern that you don't even have to think about, that's when you can make real change. As you continue through this presentation, you can choose to look at any of the 4 tendencies you want next. But I do want you to look at to watch every video and learn a little bit more about each tendency. It's helpful to know more about the other tendencies because you might not always fit perfectly into your own tendency. Also, it's helpful to know a little bit more about how other people can more effectively develop habits because when you're working with other people, it's nice to just have some insight on how they might work, or some strategies for trying new things that will help.